Hello, everybody. Dave Neal here, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor Nation News. Good to see you today. We've got a Clare Crawley update to a statement she has made regarding her breakup with Dale. This is technically not a breaking news story as it came out yesterday afternoon, but I didn't want to stack one story on top of it. I mean, it is going to be getting ugly out there, and people will go, Dave, the story's over. Quit posting about it. I've never made a video that gets more traction than a Dale and Clare conversation. There's something in our DNA that likes seeing a train become derailed. I hope everyone can get peace from this. But as we know, Clare says, I'm not going to discuss my relationship. And then, of course, that's where we leave off there, where she tags Abigail in the photo. And then we realize maybe Abigail and Dale had a tryst. Maybe Abigail didn't know about it. And then they go, look, we're not going to talk about this anymore. It's like if you've ever been in a Facebook thread, and I'll read this statement for you in a second. You ever been in a Facebook thread where someone goes, look, this is my last statement. I'm not going to talk to you anymore. And the other person's like, yeah, because you're a bigot. And then the person goes, well, I oughta. And then they go back and forth for another 2 hours. I have a policy where I don't discuss things with strangers online. Once in a while, you get baited into a conversation with someone, but that's my policy. Now, I'll respond to comments on YouTube because it helps the YouTube algorithm. If you want to help the YouTube algorithm, make sure to like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. I got these new fancy graphics. We appreciate all the help and support you can give us. Still trying to figure out how to use them. It says 43.9 thousand subscribers, but yesterday we hit up to 44,000, so we're at 44,000. Pretty soon we'll be passing Nick Viall, and then I mean, what else do we have to look forward to after that? We can all retire happily. Maybe we'll get to 50,000 by the end of 2021. What a year it has been. So speaking of Facebook, look, we'll get into the story, but first, I'm making some exclusive Facebook content just for the Facebook community. This is free, folks. Join the Facebook community. We're at like 980 members. We'll be at 1,000 in the next hour or two, and you can go there. It's called Dave Neal's Community. It's a private community where we discuss different comment threads. My question for you today is, what is an activity or hobby you miss that you used to do before social media ruled the world? Let me know what that is for you, and we'll get right into the story. So as we mentioned earlier, Clare tags Abigail. Here's the thumbnail. People go, oh my gosh, Clare, this is amazing. And it's all because of the deux mois rumor that said a recent Bachelor Nation winner, Dale, may or may not have been on a break earlier this year, and he is with someone from Paradise right now that producers won't mess up her Good Girl edit, which of course is Abigail, which will be premiering tonight, the season finale. It's a three-hour episode. We will have a East Coast episode live stream, so 1 hour before the episode, 7 p.m. East Coast, 4 p.m. West Coast. We'll have a nice, fun time. And then after the East Coast, at 11 p.m., we'll do a live stream. And then after the West Coast, at 2 a.m. East Coast, 11 p.m. West Coast, we'll do a live stream for that as well. Does that make sense? So go to my Instagram, @dneals, and get all the updates on that. So after Clare released that statement, we got multiple statements back and forth from sources. Now, these are pretty much seen to be real. If it's People, if it's Us Weekly, they have sources within their camp. Dale says, look, I flew out to her after she broke up with me to help her mom. Then I had to fly to LA to do a gig with Tyler Cameron. You know, one thing after another. And, well, after that, Clare blocked his number. So he basically tells us Clare blocked his number. What he doesn't tell us is why the heck this all went down. Will we ever know? I'm not sure. Usually the truth comes out in these scenarios once someone's done playing nice. You know, you think of all the lovely times you go, oh, the relationship had its ups and its downs, but we want to remain friends. And then someone goes on a podcast and rolls their eyes and you're like, oh, really? Let's talk. Let's undo the safe here and open up the can of worms. Clare Crawley is done with Dale Moss for good after latest split. This was last night. The end of the road. It's the end of the road. Not a good voice. That's the end of my vocal cords right now. Well, I made 88 videos this month. What do you want from me? We're trying. Put some honey in your tea. Clare Crawley is ready to move on with her life following her split from Dale Moss. Clare has seen everything by now for what is needed for her to have closure and not look back. She's done with Dale for good, a source exclusively tells Us Weekly. This past week has proven to her that he's not someone who full-heartedly cares about her. Full-heartedly? Is that even a term? Wholeheartedly. Anyway, he's putting on an act for the public because he's all about himself and his public image. Okay, now we're getting personal, and he's gonna respond saying, "I'm all about myself. I was there for you when you X, Y, and Z." Clare Crawley, 40, has been in Sacramento, California with her mother who is in hospice care, while Dale Moss, 33, has been out and about with a smile on. The insider adds, if he truly loved her, he would be by her side while she's grieving. Well, word is that she blocked his number, okay? So I'm not saying that that's true or false. And I said this too. I said, look, if someone blocks your number, you know, you still know where they live. You can still send flowers. You can still go after them. And people go, and then someone responded to me and said, well, would you really go see someone if they blocked your number? And I'd be like, well, look, let's take my relationship. If for whatever reason there was a rumor that I cheated on my fiance, and I knew in my heart of hearts, full-heartedly, wholeheartedly, full-heartedly, 100% heartedly, if I knew with my diamond-encrusted balls that that I didn't cheat, then I would know not to listen to that block number and do everything. I'd have a speaker over, I'd be doing the whole, you would fight for it. Now, if Dale cheated on her and she blocked his number, it's kind of like, what are you going to do? You know, listen to her. You got to listen, but at the same time, you got to know when to fight for your right to party. He's going to be partying all right. Single man, there he is, preparing to become a law student or something. What is he doing? Just looks so smart there. It's like, I'm going to go with a cardigan and my eyeglasses tonight. And she looks like she's trying to hold in a fart at a rose ceremony. This is what you're here for, folks. We love Clare. Source adds, Clare's not doing well, not just because of her mom or her own health, but because of the fact that she's getting receipts after receipts about Dale. She just wants this to all go away and to grieve in peace. Listen, if you need someone to sift through these receipts, I know a thing or two about CVS. We know CVS comes with a long receipts, whatever. You could be a rhythmic gymnast with all. I get it. By the way, Consumer Value Store, that's what it stands for. The more you know, from my home state of Rhode Island and Providence Plantations. So, look, if there really are these receipts, and I know when she says receipts, she's not meaning, someone like a Power Recap we're talking about her. She's meaning she's getting receipts, DMs, screen grabs. That's what we talk about when we mean receipts. By the way, this might be my best video of the week. I'm feeling like I'm in flow state right now. Claire looks like she's not in flow state in this photo. She looks like she's backed up a little bit, but we digress. I'm just kidding. She looks very stoic there. We're just making a flatulence joke. Full-heartedly. All right. Following their breakup, the former football player flew to Sacramento on Tuesday, September 28th, when Crowley's mother's condition worsened. The following day, he went to Los Angeles. Yeah, we know that. He went to LA for a gig. Dale flew to LA for a work obligation and had every intention to travel back to Sacramento to be with her, but his number was blocked, which made it impossible to communicate with Clare. It is unfortunate that the next time Dale heard anything from Clare, it was on social media, a rep for Moss tells us, noting that the reality star has chosen not to speak about their relationship out of respect. Of course, and this is, of course, him speaking about it. So he says he didn't hear anything from her. All of a sudden, she's blocked, but also we have word from his statement that they broke up in New York. So if they were broken up, they don't have kids, there's no reason for them to communicate still. We all know the proper way, at least one of the strategies for a proper breakup is to go no contact. And part of going no contact is to block each other off social media. Maybe delete the phone number. That way when you've had a couple of whiskey sours, you don't text them and go, I miss the way I miss the way you full-heartedly, you know what, bump my hair, lance my bass, caress my purchase, bump your bong on my little jong. Okay, we're out of them. Rub your palmer. All right. We're losing steam. He hopes that people will understand the current situation enough to respect everyone's privacy during this time. He wishes Clare nothing but the best, and he is keeping her and her family in his thoughts and prayers. The duo first met on season 16. It's always like they've got some school report and they need to fill in 200 more words. Here too we wither full-heartedly. Just start adding words. We've all been there. I hate that and then it goes on and on about what she said, but she said she's not going to talk about it, and obviously by not talking about it, they're both kind of talking about it. So let's read a couple of your comments. We'll get the hell out of here. I know we're going to have some more updates. Tyler Cameron was asked about this. We'll cover it in another video. So we'll just get through. These are the Reddit comments of Clare Crawley being done with Dale Moss for good. As much as I think they should both stop making statements for their own benefit, I am enjoying the entertainment. Cheers to that. I hate to say it, but yeah. She should definitely stay quiet. However, I am self-aware enough to admit that I don't really want her to. I think, I mean, I kind of agree. Like, you might as well air it all out. Like, it's going to be ugly. Why don't they just, you know what I mean? Like, hey, I know this wouldn't happen, but if they both wanted to like come on a podcast with me and I could just like get my ref's hat on and just be like, all right, Dale, you have the gavel. Please speak. Claire, hold on a second. Dale's done. Claire, now is your chance to respond. And, you know, just treat it like a debate. You know what I mean? That would never happen. But maybe they'd get some closure that way. Full-heartedly hit the like button on this video if you don't mind. I think back to that one scene on the show when Chris Harrison informed Dale that now that Dale and Claire were coupling and the show had been blown up to accommodate their relationship, Dale would have to propose to Claire immediately. There was a brief, fleeting moment when Dale's face then took on a look of terror. I guess that's when we probably knew deep inside that their motives might actually be light years apart. It took a while, but I suppose that look of dread foreshadowed it all. I mean, look, if I was in Dale's shoes and I just met someone 2 weeks ago and they were like saying, well, if you're going to leave together, you need to be married, I'd be like, you know, I'd be the same way. It was a wild scenario that Chris Harrison put them under. To be fair, I don't think most people would be ready to propose after knowing someone for days. A couple weeks, if Chris Harrison had told me I'd have to propose to my current partner after knowing him only for however long Dale knew Claire, I'd have been terrified as well. It was very obvious that he didn't want to propose. He looked like he was going to the grave, resigned to his fate. Yeah, because it's bat wild crazy to propose to someone after 3 conversations in 12 days. He was put into a lose-lose situation by the show. He hadn't even known her as long as a normal show length. I would have been terrified too. I made my boyfriend watch this episode with me, and he still, to this day, talks about how Chris Harrison inceptioned a man to propose. I remember that I had okay, saved you a click. So there's the whole story. Everyone says, I want the receipts. Share the receipts. We need the receipts. Send it, Scotty, beam in the receipts. So yeah, we've obviously, I think we're going to get a couple of receipts. If you had to ask me whether or not receipts would come in, I'd say, get prepared to return this item because we have the receipts. So we'll have to see how it all plays out. Like I said, plenty of live streams later today with Bachelor in Paradise. We're going to have some proposals, possible engagements, possible breakups. We'll be talking about this all day long, so make sure if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, and you can also hit the little alert bell. See that alert bell? Go hit that alert bell, and it'll let you know whenever the content is coming out. And of course, don't forget, final warning, to get on that Facebook right there, Dave Neal's community, and I will approve you guys right away. And you can watch that video, which talks about some of the censorship and Facebook banning that happened yesterday. And we will get into more content all day long. We'll see you out there. Bye, everybody.